quality talk shows. It's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 9th. I am Emerson Collins.
And I'm Del Shores.
And you're listening to
The
Del and Emerson Show.
Straight talk.
Real gay. All right, we are 4 weeks in, and we rehearsed that opening before we start every time.
Can we just pre-record it, please?
No,
Can we please pre-record it?
No, because now I'm so entertained by the fact that you can't get your two lines
I always
right.
got straight talk before, because I like to do straight talk. You know, I like to, butch it up. But, I missed a little bit. It was delayed. It was just, we could take that out. Can we take that out in post, John?
It was a dramatic... Call it. It was a pregnant pause.
But you got that real gay. You just on top of that.
I don't need to rehearse that.
No pun intended with the top of remark.
We have a very exciting show today. It is full and jam-packed with some great guests. Coming up, we have Outfest Senior Programming Director Alonzo Duralde and Tony Award-winning producer Louise Beard, and then on to our special guest, the always entertaining Dixie Longate. So, if you have missed any of the last episodes of the Del and Emerson Show, you can find all of them in the archives on ubnradio.com on the Del and Emerson Show page. Also, and this is really awesome, it's free on iTunes. You can go to the podcast section, search the Del and Emerson Show, you hit subscribe, and they will automatically download
and
for
subscribe,
free.
Right? Subscribe.
Yes,
it's very important to subscribe. And we just got our ratings, and our CEO, Ann Walker and Tony Sweet, they're very happy with us.
They were very excited.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. We're really excited that you're tuning in, and now that we have our ratings, somebody needs to come on board and sponsor us so that we can have some revenue coming in.
We are actively and excitedly looking for sponsors for the show. You can get all kinds of benefits. We will list your information on all of our social media. It will go out to our email blast list of over 15,000 people. You'll get on-air commercials that Del and I can read. So there are lots of perks. If you are interested in being a sponsor, which is how we make the show happen, hit us up at delandemerson@gmail.com.
I'm thinking like lube and Fleet Enema would be a good one. So many gay condoms.
Yes.
What else?
I feel like that's a pretty good plug.
Those three. If we could get those three, we'd be good for like the year.
Then we are set.
And then we get free shit too, right? They send us things.
Yep, totally.
All right.
So now that we've done a 2-minute commercial for us, I feel like we should continue. Last night was the final episode of my Bravo TV show, The People's Couch, episode 18.
It was so good too. They really featured you last night. You were being such a little bitch sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then I like the way they just cut to you for a look. That is a laughable look.
The people who enjoy the show have come to be quite entertained by my side eye.
Yes.
Which is usually served at Scott and Evans.
Yeah, I also love the old ladies a lot, and Julie Goldman, and what's her name?
Brandy Howard.
I believe they're coming on our show.
Yes, next week we will be doing a whole show on the People's Couch wrap-up with Blake McIver, Scott and Evans, and Julie Goldman, and Brandy Howard, so that should be entertaining. So we'll save the big stories for next week.
But good job. Great job.
Yay, go team.
Yeah.
It actually was super fun. Well, we should do some updates in our ongoing stories. We've been covering really important things, so I feel like we should check in with them.
Okay.
So let's do our sports ball update.
Oh, yes.
The World Cup is still happening, apparently.
It is. I saw there was someone, as I was coming in the lobby, someone yelled out, Argentina, Argentina. So I guess they're still in it.
See, but when you say Argentina, all I think of is Evita and Ava Perón.
And I go to that.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
I have that thing. I wrote on my page on Facebook that I sort of root for the ones according to this size around the world.
What size?
Well, they're dick size.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was very upset that Brazil, lost because they're right up there. They've got an average dick size of 6.2. And I don't see Argentina. I don't see them, but I'm sure they're way up there.
Well, Brazil's out.
I know they're out. I was upset over that. That's how I root for the teams.
Well, who's left that you can root for?
I don't know.
I don't
Germany? Germany, they're like 5'7". 5'7" for Germany. I get 5'7". That's somebody's throwing that off because I've known some Germans. I don't remember.
What about like Polish sausage?
Oh, Poland's up there. But I tell you what's really up there is the. But poor China. Oh, 4 inches average.
Apparently, you just have a chart of stereotypes.
Well, I guess there's some truth to some stereotype. And the U.S. is not doing that great, 5.1.
Well, that's because we're just a melting pot of all those others.
Well, there's a lot of people from
So
China who have come in.
The average of the average. I guess we will not be getting sponsorship from a Chinese company.
I
now.
love the Chinese, so
they make lots of stuff that we use.
Yes, they do.
And they own all of our debt, so it should be nice to them.
Yes.
All right, what else? Where in the hell is Dell? Where you been?
Oh, well, I'm in town for a whole month. I can't believe it. Yeah, I talked
gosh.
about I was in Dallas, and I'm in town. I've been here.
What did you do for the 4th?
Oh,
of July.
I went to a barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to do every now and then I would smoke something called marijuana, and I haven't done that in a long time, and since December actually was
So long.
Well, December, that's a long time,
Half a year.
and now I remember why I stopped, because I literally ended up in the refrigerator pulling out a half-eaten Dupar's pie and like fighting people over it. It was so good. I've got to go back to Dupar's just to see if that strawberry pie is as good as I remember, because I was saying this is the best pie I have ever had in my life.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not.
Okay.
I feel like your altered state might have altered your standards somewhat.
So thank you, McGee and Jameson, for taking me down a bad path once again in my life. But I went home and ate an entire watermelon as well. So that's what I did on the 4th. What did you do on the 4th?
I went to a barbecue as well with some friends, although it ended up being not a like gay pool barbecue party. It was like straight dude, bro dude.
Oh.
4th of July party.
So no abs.
No, they all had that like extra.
Oh, because it's L.A.
Extra 10. No, they did like the extra 10 pounds of like I used to be really hot, so I think I can act like an asshole, but you're not that hot anymore. And there were like 15 of them in the hot tub, and at one point they referred to it as dick soup, and I walked over and said I already ate.
Yeah, and we've been on cruises, so we know what dick soup is all about. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, it really was a great time, but it was quite entertaining. I was like, wow, straight dudes are weird.
Yeah, it's I really try, and lowering the voice and everything. But sometimes, there are those that I have good conversations with. But every now and then, there's that one that I go, oh my God, you remind me of those guys in high school that I could not relate to and beat me up.
That's fair. I do like the 4th of July. I love the fireworks, always have since I was a kid. But now I've gotten to the point where what I really want to do next year, and I want to see how many people I can get to do this, I want to have a tailgate party at the hospital outside the ER and started at like 9:30 to watch all the, hey, y'all, look at this injuries arrive. Because all the best things that happen on the 4th of July start with some guy going, hey, y'all, watch this.
Well, I have to say that I went on Facebook and one of my cousin's wives that morning said that y'all pray for my cousin who was just killed in a firecracker or something. Stop it. They may be listening. That is so wrong that you just laughed.
I have an inappropriate laughter problem.
He's dead because it was a fireworks explosion. I don't know what happened. There were no details. I wanted to ask, but you just have to say, I'm praying for you, or something.
Okay.
My thoughts are with the family. But yeah, on the 4th of July.
I am so sorry for their loss, but that is Darwin's survival of the fittest happening in real time.
You know what happens in the South is people get drunk and then they light a cigarette at a firecracker stand and it just all blows up.
That's the show. Thanks for coming. Oh, all right. Yes, those of you who don't know me, I have a problem with laughing inappropriate at
and
shockingly
I'm sorry if my cousin
moments.
June is listening. I'm really sorry. It was not me. It was Emerson.
June, I am not laughing at your pain. I am laughing at the absurdity of Dell's presentation of an entirely shocking story.
Okay.
For the record. All right, let's move on to some real stories. Do you have news? What's happening in the gay news?
Oh, well, we have a report, which I loved because I am a parent and I raised 2 girls. And there was a report that came out of Australia, Melbourne, and the University of Melbourne that says that same-sex couples are better parents, actually. we're doing a better job in a lot of categories. 6% better on 2 key measures: general health and family cohesion. And I loved what it said. It said one of the reasons is that the emotional behavior and physical functioning is better because there is acceptance in the family for everybody. So, and the gay families were mostly lesbians for some reason.
For some reason.
I think it's because they have the children.
Well,
a lot of them have the children.
They meet, have a second date, get a U-Haul, and make a baby on the third, right? Isn't that the...
Something like that. But... Anyway, this is a great report. I love hearing this because we get slammed so many times by the religious wrong and saying that we can't be good parents, and we are good parents, and there are studies that now prove it.
I love that they needed a study to say that all children need to be successful as love and support from whoever is raising them. Like, that should be the moral of the story. Like, how is that not common sense?
Absolutely. And then we have...
Okay. I have a story that I want to share. There is a guy on the intraweb who started a Kickstarter campaign because Kickstarter's just changed their standards, and now you can basically raise money for anything that isn't illegal. So he started a fundraising campaign to make a potato salad. His goal was $10. That is what he set his goal at. He has 23 days left to go on this fundraising campaign, and he has raised $72,000 to make a $10 potato salad.
And we were just thinking of prizes for the new Sordid Lives movie this morning. How long did it take us to raise that much for Southern Baptist Sissies?
We had one of the most successful fundraising campaigns for a crowd-funded film with $104,000 that it took us 45 days to raise with incredible support from fans. But like, we had $70,000 2 days before the end of our campaign, and we worked on this 4 hours a day.
We were begging
for a month and a half.
We were getting celebrities to tweet for us. I mean, we worked, and he did this in how long?
Like 3 days. He has 23 more days. Oh, look, he just made another $20 while I've been staring at it.
It's at $72,100. Well, good for him. I hope the potato salad's good.
No, not good for him. I'm sorry. This makes my brain bleed. I get that the reason people are doing this is because it's hysterical and funny, and it's ironic because now everyone in the world is running a fundraising campaign for every charity, every film, every project, and now you could do a campaign for a scrapbook. But I'm sorry, $72,000. The number
changed his life. It's like winning the lottery. Well, small
and
lottery.
He has to spend it on potato salad. Like, you can't donate it to charity. That's in the rules of Kickstarter.
What are the prizes?
The prizes are you get to contribute to the recipe. You get to now he's gonna like live stream the potato salad.
I'm gonna contribute because I'm gonna suggest.
You are not contributing to this campaign.
Because bacon makes a good potato salad.
No.
Anything.
No.
You put bacon in anything, John, it is good.
Stop it. Stop it. I am not supporting this.
Okay,
There are so many great filmmakers and great artists and poets and singers and songwriters struggling to get incredibly talented ideas out into the world, and they raise $1,000 or $5,000. $72,000 on potato salad.
So y'all better give to the Sordid Lives, a very sordid wedding campaign that's going to launch soon.
Oh yeah, we use that as a plug. We're getting ready to start pre-production on the Sordid Lives sequel because Dal has a finished script.
I do.
So we will be starting our own campaign to raise the money to start finding investors to launch that project. So yes, part of the reason I'm irritated is we are going to work so hard to raise this money, and this dude's getting $72,000 from ironic moron hipsters on the internet for potato salad.
You have got to calm down.
No.
We have a very important guest here, and you have got to calm down. But let me say something, because my script, it has a very anti-equality theme. The Southern Baptist Church, their South Southern Baptist, is having an anti-equality revival in the new movie because I just want to point out how that is so ludicrous that they basically are not supporting equality and say that that's biblical. So I promised everybody on Facebook I was going to show my new tattoo. So this is my new tattoo.
Oh yeah, so if you're only listening online, you can't see that Dell is doing an awkward turnaround dance to show off. Well, it's too. There you go. Oh, there it is. We are getting a close up of he got the red and pink equality symbol tattooed on his left scapula.
So, I'm branded gay for life now.
Yes.
There's no way out. I'm not gonna do that therapy that Jeremy Schwab was doing. I'm just not.
None of that. It's just permanent.
It's done.
You have Pepto-Bismol pink, as they would say in Steel Magnolias. Your colors are pink and a nice rosy red.
And that was my second code. And it hurt like fuck. It was so painful. I thought it would not be, but it was painful.
Well, no pain, no gain.
And then finally, the last. We have to move on. We
Yes.
can't say that.
No.
Real quick, I can't say that Brian Fisher of the American Family Association. I sent him a bunch of Monopoly money and put cash enclosed, and he said if there was a Harvey Milk stamp, he would send it back, return to sender.
Have they returned it?
They have not returned it.
Well,
just want you to know.
We will keep y'all updated on those 3 cents. All right. With our jam-packed show, we are going to move right along to our guest. My rant about fantastic gay independent film provides a perfect transition. We would like to bring into the studio and introduce you to Alonzo Duralde. He is the senior Outfest programmer. Outfest opens here in Los Angeles tomorrow, Thursday, July 10th, with a fantastic opening film called Life Partners. And Outfest, for those of you who don't know, is one of the preeminent LGBT film festivals in Los Angeles. It is one of the great tastemakers of introducing independent gay film to the rest of the country, because programmers for lots of other film festivals come to Outfest to see what they want to take. So Alonzo is one of the people who makes the big decisions.
Welcome, Alonzo, who's been so good to us. We premiered Southern Baptist Sissies at Outfest last year, and Sorted Lives was there, and Sorted Lives the series. So thank you for all you do for independent filmmaking.
Our pleasure. And look, any festival out there should know that not only is Dell's stuff fun, but he is one of the most aggressive self-promoters on earth. He will fill the house when you show a Del Shores joint. So get on that.
Thank you. I'm relentless. I am.
And I
know.
put bacon in my potato salad.
Good for you. Well, you're a Texas boy.
Well, for a while.
Yeah.
Not born and raised, but I spent time there.
Dallas,
so tell us the story of this year's Outfest. What do we have to look forward to?
Oh man, it is going to be great. It's I have my list. This is my crazy list of statistics. 175 films from 23 countries at 6 venues over 11 days. 108 separate programs, 6 galas, 68 features, 16 shorts programs, 18 panels and special events, and I don't even know how many parties. So
wow,
that is exciting and exhausting.
It is, but luckily there's a lot of us,
and we're going to. I'm going to a
share
bunch.
The burden.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm in town this year. Last year we were here for the premiere, flew out the next day to other film festivals, but I'm here for a lot of it, and I'm excited about some of them. I'm coming to opening night.
Yeah, no, opening night's a blast. Life Partners is a really funny movie. It premiered at Tribeca this year. It stars Leighton Meester and Adam Brody. It's about and Jillian Jacobs from Community. It's about 2 girls who are best friends. One's gay, one's straight, and that thing that happens when you're adults and you and your best friend are both in the dating pool, and one of you gets serious before the other one does, and there's that sort of awkward transitional moment of realizing that you're now coming in second in your friend's life because they've got the new boyfriend happening. Really funny movie, and a ton of fun people in it. Gabri Sidibe's in it.
Oh yeah,
it's a hoot.
She's
it's
precious.
Be a blast.
She's precious,
is.
and she's
literally,
and she's a witch. I loved her on.
She's all the things.
Yes.
It's so interesting when you talk about how many films are this. We all get the giant, beautiful, glossy program and go, ooh, yay, and circle the ones we want to go see. But so to get to that bajillion number that you're sharing with us, you have to watch so many films.
Yeah.
What is that process like?
Well, it's a multi-pronged assault. Our director of programming, KP Pepe, it starts really with Sundance. That's where a lot of that happens. So she and our artistic director, Kim Yatani, are already on top of a lot of films that are happening at Sundance and kind of, making that connection and rooting out those films and finding them. And then KP and I guess Kim also both go to Berlin in February, and that's where a lot of the big international films, that really kind of kicks off the year, the calendar year for like the European film festivals. So out of those 2 festivals, they're already finding a lot of cool stuff. And then we get submissions. We get thousands of submissions, and then we have this amazing team of associate programmers who basically I do this for Sundance, actually. You kind of pre-screen and you basically sift through the mountains of gravel for the occasional piece of zinc, and they find the films that maybe just would have flown under our radar and say, you need to see this, or maybe you don't need to see this one. And then myself and KP and Harry Vaughn and Adam Barron and the whole team of programmers goes through these films, and then we have to figure out, well, we have this many spaces and this many films, and what fits, and are we covering our bases, and are we addressing as many different facets of the community as possible, and are we being inclusive of women, are we being inclusive of people of color, and trans films and bi films and all that kind of stuff. And so it's a lot of Post-its get moved around a lot, and then eventually we have a schedule. And
so you make a few people happy and piss off a lot.
But we send very nice letters to the people we piss off,
So
and we're
do you-
always encouraging.
Do you
that
ever
they
get a
try.
mean one back though? A really nasty, like my film is so good, I hate you.
Some people don't take rejection real well.
Who?
I don't.
Well, we're all passionate about our piece,
No,
and,
no,
and I always say
absolutely.
nobody sets out to make a bad film.
No, of course
really.
not.
But
And-
some people do.
They do set
Some
out.
no, but they some
get there.
Well, they do. Yes,
Some-
there are.
And there are a lot of films every year. Believe me, we all walk away from that final scheduling process with at least one or two titles that we're just like, oh, I wanted that one to get in, and it just kind of comes out, oh, well, it's a documentary about, Siberian fish farming, and we already had this other Siberian fish farming doc, or there's a thing where, it was too close to something else, or there just wasn't space for it, or you loved it, but everybody else thought it was terrible. Every film has its own story, and we, every film gets seen and evaluated, and if we had room for more, we'd do more, but we make happen what we can make happen. And I think we try and really just put together a really strong docket of what we think is the best stuff that's coming out of LGBT cinema, and voices that need to be heard and stories that need to be told.
I have to say, this year when I was going through, there were lots of times where I was like, I could not. You've programmed a great one against a great one, or it feels like that to me.
Yeah, I know, and we do our best to not put the three best lesbian movies all in the same time slot or whatever. But inevitably, the tough choices.
That
have to
wasn't
be
my
made.
issue.
This year,
maybe not.
I'm kidding. I love the lesbians.
this year they got a whole day.
They did.
Every year is All Girl Friday at the DGA.
That's so great.
It's an ongoing tradition. So yeah,
and it's smart because if you can get them to leave the house, once you get them there, keeping them there all day.
And
isn't
now
the
that
hard
the Palm is closed and you've got the drinks there, it's like a gay bar for the
There you go.
lesbians
Yeah,
all day long.
The atrium is hopping. Thank you, Absolute and Stella Artois.
They're bringing their coolers and their kids and the umbrellas.
And then we always put it like a boy movie at the Ford on the same night. So it's we balance it out.
Awesome.
Have you found any particular themes cropping up as sort of repeated this year? Is there a conversation that sort of seems to be...
we never go into it thinking, okay, we're going to find a bunch of films that fit into this thing. But once it's done and we look at what we're doing and what we've got, we then, a lot of times, themes will emerge. And the one this year, we've been calling it provocateurs. And it's basically people who are revolutionary, whether they are being artistically daring, whether they politically stuck their neck out, like the guys in the film, God, of course it's flying right out of my head the moment I just say it. About a married couple who got married. They were the first married couple in the United States in 1974. Two guys got a marriage license and then had to fight for immigration benefits. And I can't. Anyway, it's great. The one that I'm talking about, and you can find that
You'll
on
think
outfest.org.
about it on the way home.
Exactly.
Yes.
It will totally come to me in the car. Forgive me for this. But anyway, so we're calling it provocateurs. It's people like Bruce LaBruce and people like Pat Rocco, who are, coloring outside the line and pushing the envelope on what filmmakers can do. It's academics like Kate Borstein and Susan Sontag. Just anybody who's really kind of not playing nice and moving things forward. And, these are the people that make change, the impolite ones. And so, yeah, provocateurs is our theme this year.
I love it.
They're all my favorite kind of people. So they all speak my language.
Exactly. The theme is people you want to have lunch with.
Absolutely.
How and where do people find out about Outfest? How do you join Outfest?
Finding out and joining all happens at outfest.org. It's our website. We have a number of membership levels, starting with some incredibly reasonably inexpensive ones, and then moving up to the ones that get you lots of the goodies, including the wonderful Outpass, which allows you to saunter into any movie as long as you get there no later than 15 minutes before start time, without having to worry about lining up and getting a ticket. Well, there's a line of the other Outpass people, but it's not. That's the shorter line, believe me. But no, there's all kinds of great benefits, early chances to get tickets and free stuff and member-only screenings throughout the year. We are a year-round organization, so there's a lot of different benefits that come with it. And of course, now Outfest is programming New Fest. So if you are bi-coastal or you are based in New York and you want early access to those tickets and discounts on those tickets, you can get that with your Outfest membership as well. And Outfest.org also has the complete schedule, the whole lineup of every film that we're showing, and allows you to order tickets online.
Awesome. And I will just say, obviously Del and I being filmmakers who focus on gay subject matter, what we do is only possible because of festivals like Outfest and people like Alonzo who help us find an audience and share our messages out there. So if you are in Los Angeles and you support the LGBT community, you should see at least one movie at Outfest, or you should stop listening to our show.
And if you're and if you're anywhere in the United States, listening to us, anywhere in the world actually, and there is a film festival close by, gay or straight, support independent filmmaking, especially gay though.
Yeah,
I mean
especially.
We're straight talk.
And Del and I attend.
Real gay.
Our film Southern Baptist Sissies played at 28 film festivals last year, and Del and I had the opportunity to attend 15 of them. I mean, in July and August, there are festivals coming up in Philadelphia, Detroit, Houston, Denver, Providence, Durham, North Carolina, and Birmingham. So go online and look at your town and look up independent film in your city and go see it and support it. If you want to see more than Transformers 17 at your movie theater, go find it and support it.
Absolutely.
Alonzo, where else can people find you? Because he is an expert on all things
And
film.
he
and
has a
a
podcast.
great podcast as well.
I have a podcast called Linoleum Knife that I do with my husband, Dave White. You can also subscribe for that for free on iTunes, and we're at linoleum-knife.com. You can follow me on Twitter at aduralde, ADURALDE, and I'm film reviews editor at TheWrap, THEWRAP.com.
Yes.
And he knows more about film than anybody I know. We go so far back. So thank
All
you for
right.
being our guest.
Thanks
we
for having me.
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you guys at Outfest.
We'll see you there.
We also have with us Louise Beard. She is the third part of Beard Collins Shores Productions, that part that we say at the beginning. She is a Tony Award-winning producer this year.
Yes, ma'am.
She won a Tony as a producer for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. She has produced over 20 shows and films, including Finian's Rainbow, Porgy and Bess, Ragtime, The Scottsboro Boys, Priscilla Queen of the Desert, and she has produced a bunch of stuff with us, including the world premiere of Dell's Play Yellow. She was an executive producer of Blues for Willadine, and she was also in Blues for Willadine as Beth
Mrs.
Grant's
Garrison.
trashy, tragic neighbor across the way, Mrs. Garrison.
We'll have to have her say the line.
And she produced Southern Baptist Sissies with us, and she is our special angel, and we are so thrilled to have her with us. Hey, Louise.
Hey, how you?
How you doing?
We always love it when you come to town because we get to eat at great restaurants and see your beautiful face and celebrate your victory.
Beautiful after a little work.
Hey, we all need a little work.
But no knife work.
No knife work.
No, just a little paint.
I don't have time for knife work.
Just a little paint and spackle in the morning, and we're ready
Well,
to
you're
go.
in L.A. when
Spackling
you say
is
work.
important, yeah.
Okay, we need to talk about the Tonys because you have done so many things, but I need to hear directly and immediately about your experience with Hugh Jackman.
That's all we care about. We don't care about anything else except you're meeting Hugh Jackman because we all want him.
That's everybody's first question. They want to hear all about Hugh Jackman, okay? Because we were the final award, we were on stage at the end of the program, and Hugh Jackman invited everyone up that had won a Tony that night to get on the Radio City Music Hall stage. And so there we were, right, with Hugh Jackman. We were already there. So my daughter Lanford and I went and said hello to him. We had met him before. And I forgot something very important the other time I met him. So Lanford said, Louise, pork. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, get the pig out. So I oftentimes will bestow upon people good luck in the form of a little bitty pink plastic pig. And I have him open, or the person open their palm of their hand, and I say, push the little pig down into it, and I say, you have now been porked.
So you porked him. We all want to, and you porked him.
I got to pork Hugh Jackman.
And that's a German thing, right?
It is a German thing. Yeah. They call it a Glückschwein because if you have a pig, in the old days in Germany, you had something to eat, so you were lucky.
Yeah.
So
and their dick size is 5.2, just in case you missed that.
I missed that one. Okay. Yeah, the Germans.
Right.
Yes.
I
thought you meant the German pigs.
We should make you T-shirts that say "I've been porked by Louise Beard."
Oh, I like that. Why
that you can start giving out along with the pigs.
I want one that just says "I porked Hugh Jackman," but only if it ever happens.
Yeah.
How was the rest of the Tonys night?
It was really fun. It was, a little, you're waiting on tenterhooks to see if you are going to win the final award, which is Best New Musical. We did, so was screaming and thrilled and everything like that. Once that comes in, you can breathe.
And what were you wearing?
I was wearing a Tadashi Shoji, that's Octavia Spencer's designer. And I got mine off the rack, however.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. It was on sale, too.
That's where I usually get mine, the sale rack.
And you won a Tony. So who cares?
I won the Tony. Gold. I looked like a short, fat Oscar.
Well, I was hoping you would bring it in. You didn't travel with it?
I don't travel with a Tony.
Leslie Jordan.
I know Leslie Jordan does.
Well, he used to take the Emmy with him until he broke it.
Yes.
Well, he carried that Emmy so he could get straight boys to take pictures of that Emmy with their naked ass.
Oh, God.
Oh, Leslie.
The things he's done with that Emmy, we can't even talk about on a gay show.
It's special. Well, we love you, and we are so grateful, and it is because of people like you as well that it is possible for such great projects to happen. I know that all of that team is grateful to have you, and we sure couldn't do anything that we do in our lives without you.
And it's so much fun.
Well, you are truly an angel. We so appreciate you, Southern Baptist Sissies, and the Blues for Willowdene, everything that you've contributed to, and artistically and financially, and we just love you, and so we thank you very much for your passion.
Yay!
And love you back.
All right, you guys, we're going to say bye to Alonzo and Louise, and we will be right back in just a minute with Dixie Longate.
Alonzo, you call in and tell us the name of that film if you think about it.
I'm looking up right now.
I see a child without a friend. I see a soul who thinks that it's the end. A broken will's the hardest thing to mend. But try to understand. I know you're hurting, I can see your pain, but you've got a future where there's no more shame. You're a miracle in spite of what they say. And you'll see a bright new day, 'cause it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. They said that you would never belong. They lied and told you that you're weak and they are strong. They put that loaded metal in your head, but I can help you understand. Yeah, I know you're hurting, I can feel your pain, but you've got a future where there's no more shame. You're a miracle in spite of what they say. And you'll see a brighter day, 'cause it gets better. Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
All right. We're back. And Dixie's not here. She's late.
She's late. She's had to do her hair.
I mean, well, she's from a trailer park. Maybe she doesn't understand how clocks work. See, this is what happens, by the way, anybody that ever comes on our show ever in the future. If you are late, we will just talk about you until you get
Talk
here.
trash about you.
Well, you know,
no,
she pretends to be all classy, but she's from an Alabama trailer park.
in Mobile.
I mean,
Mobile. Louise is from Birmingham.
she's got 3 dead husbands. She's like a black widow.
And there's rumors. I have heard rumors about how they died. So
Uh-huh.
I'd like to go into that.
Well, being like the #1 Tupperware sales lady in the entire country, maybe she'd been putting a little arsenic in those Tupperware containers and killing them husbands.
I wonder if they had money. We're going to find out if she gets here. If not, well, but we, you know what? We skipped something because we thought we didn't have time. But I saw the case against 8 this last week. You haven't seen it yet?
I have
you
not.
Well, it's on my DVR. It is staggering. It is so brilliant. Have you seen it, John? It's just a wonderful, wonderful documentary. And if you are listening and you have not seen it, please try to see it some way. I always say this in my shows. I talk about how important it was that Prop 8 actually passed, because we were so devastated when Prop 8 passed. But what really happened was it shined a big light on in how horrible and inequality and and basically a storm started happening and people were angry, and it documents these two couples and the case. It's just brilliant. You take some Kleenex because you will cry all through this docu. It's so brilliant. Well, you won't, Emerson, because you never cry.
That is not true.
You don't cry that often.
I got a hangnail once.
You cried in Southern Baptist Sissies, but you were acting in real life.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not a big crier.
I'm not.
Did you cry? But in Terms of Endearment, when you saw Terms of Endearment,
No.
you didn't cry?
No.
When she said to that little boy, she said, it's okay that you don't be angry at me. It's okay to be angry at me. You didn't cry?
No.
What kind of human being are you?
Not a good one.
We should ask what movie makes him cry.
Look.
Look who just wandered
Miss Ann Walker.
It's Ann Walker in the studio. Are you ushering people in, Ann?
Let's see.
She's a
She's coming in.
Apparently, all you have to do, sit there on the end.
Yeah, right there, darling.
Apparently,
This
all
is
you
radio.
have to do to get Dixie to show up is start talking shit about her.
Well, I can see why she's late. Her makeup is flawless.
I don't even have none on. No, I don't. I just wear light dusting of powder to keep the shine away.
I mean,
people always say I have eyeshadow. It's a chemical burn. Aren't you sweeter than poop on a stick?
Is that sweet?
It is sweet. Have you ever had?
Have you tried it?
Listen,
Look, their
it's
hair's
mother
matched.
like daughter.
Their hair's matched.
Mother and daughter.
It's like audacious
It's the
red.
It's like two lesbians all in a bucket. Don't sweat.
Now wait. Do all the drapes match all the curtains?
Oh yeah, I vacuumed my carpet this morning, so I know my drapes match my carpet.
And hi Dixie, how are you?
Listen,
welcome.
You know what? It's so funny. I was running a little late because you know how they say allow 20 minutes for traffic in LA. Oh my ass on fire! I allowed 20, and then I allowed another 20. And I'm still like, what the hell is going on?
Well, you made it. We didn't
You
have
are
to
so
vamp
sweet.
too long.
Aren't you sweeter than poop? I adore you. It's so good to see y'all. Everything's
It's so good to be seen.
I know.
And you are in LA with a show.
I did my first performance last night. Oh, I got a story.
I heard there was
I know,
problems. We already know.
A firecracker, we're gonna call it. But yeah, we had but my first show yesterday, and then tonight is the media night when all the big media people come and they go.
I'm coming.
I know you made me smile down here where Jesus lives. So you're gonna be there. They've already rolled out a red carpet. I never in my life had a red carpet rolled out for me. I mean, I have a red carpet, but I wanted everything on.
Yeah, Louise and I are going.
I know. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
we're very
I hope
excited.
you're gonna have a good time. But it was fun last night.
Yes, what was the travesty?
About 45 minutes into the program, these flashes start happening. I was like, "Oh my Lord!" Please
Hot
don't
flashes?
No, I thought I was having a seizure. And then a voice comes on and says, "There's been a fire alarm. Everybody evacuate the building." Well, everybody thought it was part of the program, so nobody moved. I was like, "Oh crap!" So then I didn't know what to do, so I said, "Well, get out." Get out. I pointed out the fire exits at the beginning. Get the hell out. So I had to lead everybody like the Pied Piper across
You did not.
Swear to God. So we got all these pictures made of it. And so they said, go to the other side because there's a grassy knoll. So I was like, oh, we can look for JFK.
People get shot on those.
I know. Well, I was so worried that someone was going to have a problem getting across the street because they were just ushering all these people out. And this one woman, it cracked me up.
It's a Geffen, so some of them are old.
Some.
Some.
Yeah, exactly. So they wheeled a couple across the street, and they have the people, with the little walkers with the tennis balls on in case you got to get into a quick game.
Play sports ball.
I always wonder about that. They got the tennis balls. Ain't nobody ever got a racket. There's no racket strapped to it. Don't you think they would have a racket or a T-ball or something if they're going to go to all that trouble?
For some people, the balls are the most important part.
It is true speaking. Yeah, but those balls have a big hole on it because they had to stick the thing down in it. And I don't know that. So it's just such a pain in the ass. But we got across, and this one lady cracked me up. All the traffic was still coming because it's a regular street, and I don't know. And this bus was coming, and she goes, she looks at the bus, she says, "We've been evacuated." like the bus driver was supposed to know, or like they were like, "Oh, well, if you've been evacuated, let me stop my bus and not hit you." It was so funny. Just, we've been evacuated.
You are spinning this, aren't you?
No,
for press.
this is all.
You need to.
This is all completely.
This is national news.
Well, listen, and I got everybody back in. We had about a half hour, and a friend of mine went to the Rouse next door, and he got me a clearance Mother's Day cookie. Well, it was because Mother's Day was a while ago, but they had a Mother's Day cookie.
That's an old cookie.
It's an old cookie. If you looked at it, it looked like the desert. It was all cracked up and everything. And it said Happy Mother's Day. I was like, it's not that happy of a day. And it was $2 American. And he said, this is for you. And then an empty bottle of vodka. I was like, how did you get from there to there with an empty bottle of vodka? How fast do you drink that shit's empty? So it was funny. We had a good time. And then we went making it unfinished. But then it was so funny because there's doing a play called The Country House right now. It's a wonderful show with Blythe Danner and Scott Foley and Eric Lang. And it's just beautiful. And then so their audience was escorted out too. Well, I was talking to some of them, and they're like, who is this woman, and why is she talking to me? I was like, well, listen, I know I don't have as much money as you have implanted in your cheekbones right now, but I'm going to be neighborly about it. And so it's fun, but I was like, well, this is a good time to get them all come see my program because I'm talking to people and everything. Lord, they were moody.
I
think that
I believe the Geffen considers you counter-programming to the
blind. I have to say, everybody at the Geffen Playhouse has been so unbelievably neighborly to me. They are so sweet and just couldn't be nicer. And so we're on there. But yeah, because this is only the second time that they've done like a summer thing, I believe. And so that, because usually during the summers that we're not on their regular schedule. We're on a crazy summer. So I said, all right, I'm going to come.
It really is a dichotomy, though. Your show and the country house.
Now,
listen, I want to walk right by on their set. I was talking to one of the actresses in it. I said, wouldn't it be funny if I just walked on? Because there's all these windows at the back of the house, upstage. And I said, I just walk by, just looking. I'm completely lost. She said, I would pay you my week's salary if you would do that. I said, well, all right, how much do you make?
And it sort of works for your show to have an evacuation. It doesn't quite work for the country house.
Okay, now let's pause for a moment, the two of you in your comedy show. And for those who might be listening who might not be familiar with you, let's explain what happened when Hurricane Dixie left the trailer park in Alabama and how she got to be doing a show at the highfalutin Geffen in Los Angeles.
Emerson,
what's the show?
Well, my show's called Dixie's Tupperware Party, and I give you the whole Reader's Digest. I started doing Tupperware about 13 years ago, and a lot of it was here in the LA and Orange County area. I had to get a job, part of the conditions of my parole, and I was like, oh, it's not. So, because they say you got to get your kids back. Horrible idea. I was like, freedom, that don't include me getting kids back, most of which I don't want. So, but they make you, because the law, whatever. And so I started doing Tupperware parties, and then I was relocated here as part of the reassignment program. I had to get that where I was. And then, and everybody was so neighborly, I started doing it. And at first I thought, oh, I don't want to do Tupperware, that's for old ladies. But I had so much fun at my first party, and the host gave me free drinks. I was like, oh my Lord, this is work, I'm staying. So I started doing that, and then it just sort of snowballed. It got bigger and bigger, and more people wanted to do Tupperware parties with me. And then I have a friend in New York, and he said, he's a director, and he said, I have an idea. Why don't we see if we can put this as a program? And I said, aren't you sweet? Well, I was like, what? And then I said, I didn't want to hear you. Something was in my mouth. And then, so we put the program together, and then took it to the New York International Fringe Festival, and worked a bit on that, and then got a lot of attention, which was very, very lucky. And then that led to an off-Broadway run in 2007 at the Ars Nova Theater. Right. And then that led to the tour. So I started touring in 2008. And they said, oh, you'll probably get like maybe a year or two at the tour. We're now starting our 7th year on the tour. Isn't that crazy? And I've been to 5 different countries I didn't even realize had food. I mean, it was amazing.
Or were countries?
No.
Where have you been?
I've been to Australia. I've been to Canada, which is like Mexico but north. And I've been to Scotland. And did you pull out a map?
She hasn't been to any of the good penis countries.
This is the size around the world map, and it tells you which dicks are bigger.
You need to go to the Congo.
I travel according to this map.
How does nobody just submit one of those in my daily planner?
I'm going to send this to you.
Would you please?
I will.
You should add.
It's a Christian thing to do.
I understand.
The Congo and Poland.
I don't think they have food in Congo. I don't think they can speak American in Congo.
But they have big dicks.
Well, and that really is essential. When you're talking about food storage, it's about the measurement of the...
I don't think your show would go over there. I just don't feel like
Do you remember that great... remember that movie Airplane? And Julie Haggard has that amazing moment where she's doing like the Tupperware products or something. They're doing a spoof, and she's in... they're in the Peace Corps. and she's doing a Tupperware party for all these little women in the Peace Corps, and she's like, this 2-quart seals it right container keeps hot dog buns fresh for days. It still is one of my favorite moments in cinema, and all this, you see all these like little Ugandan women looking at it, like chewing on it, trying to figure out what it is.
Do we eat this?
It is so funny. It's a brilliant moment. That's one of my favorite movies ever.
Well, as a result of your world tour and cruising and whatnot, aren't you one of the most successful Tupperware ladies of all time?
I am. I started doing, like I said, 13 years ago, and every year at the Jubilee, the big Tupperware convention, they get everybody up on stage, and then they do it's like Miss Universe, and they say, "Hey, you didn't sell enough, get off," or whatever. Right. And so and they spell it up to the top people, and then they always give the number one people like a sash and a tiara and a scepter and flowers.
Not a Cadillac.
Well, no, we earn different things all the time. We get, cars and trips and jewelry and all this stuff. So there's always, the Tupperware's amazing. They're always giving great prizes and everything. And you know, right there.
Now, who is more jealous? The other lovely ladies that sell the Tupperware, or the people back in the trailer park of your success?
Listen, all the people at Tupperware have been so kind and so
That's great.
It's really, it's a wonderful company, and they are so forward thinking. I mean, to have somebody like me be basically they're a spokeslady, which makes me so happy.
Lady.
They're see how you do. Oh, he's got a twitch with his hand. He should get that looked at. But no, they're really an amazing company. They're so forward thinking. They're a multinational corporation. So Tupperware's sold in over 100 countries, and and tens and tens and tens of thousands of Tupperware ladies all over the world. But I tell you what, the people at the Jubilee have been so overwhelmingly embracing of me, and I go, and there's a lot of other pretty gals now that are doing it, and it's so much fun. And we go to the Tupperware convention, and it's just, first of all, you got tumblers that you can put alcohol right in, and they won't spill. Everybody wins, and so it's just that, you know what? It's a fun company, and I heard that. I think this is an amazing statistic.
There it is.
Yeah, it's got a lot of L's in that word, doesn't it? Did you know? I heard this recently that I think it was 82% of all women that make over $100,000 do it in direct sales. So like Tupperware, Mary Kay, those kind of the candle parties and sex toy parties and everything. That's huge when you think about it. Avon, all those things are really amazing. Those are conduits for people to make all this money, and people don't realize that you can make a good living doing Tupperware parties. And I did for a long time. And then my kids were like, give me money, and I was like, I don't speak English or whatever. And then because they can make their own. Well, my oldest daughter's 16 now. She works at the Hooters.
Oh, well, time for her to go.
She works at Hooters.
Here's your one chance, Fancy.
Not in the front with the chicken fingers and everything, but in the back. She's, what do they call that? Climbing the corporate ladder. Has something to do with your jaw aching all the time. But is such a sweet angel. But I can't kick her out the trailer yet because she's got to take care of the kids and the other two when I'm not home.
Oh, right. When you're never home.
I'm all the time. And, and they're all, my middle one, Dwayne, he said, hey, Mama, let's do Skypes. And I was, so I had to watch them on the computer. And, I don't do it no more because every time I called in, what's going on? Where's that blood stain on the wall, that handprint? Why is the cat on fire? Why is the dog missing a leg? I said, I don't want to see it no more. I don't want to see it. And I called my best friend, Georgia Jean. I say, just go by the trailer. Don't knock on the door. Just go by the trailer. Is it on fire? No. Is there blood coming out the window? No. Then leave it alone. What's that saying? Don't poke a dog with a stick in the eye or whatever, or it'll bark at you. I don't know sayings, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to. So we just leave them alone.
That's good.
I'm a good parent that way.
And they have to teach and learn themselves.
It's called independence.
You don't know the oven is hot if you don't put your hand on it.
Amen. I say that same thing. I do it different. My mama passed that on to me. She goes, unless you're sleeping in the oven with it turned all the way up, you don't know that it's hot.
That is very true.
It's true speaking.
Now, do you speak to your ex-husbands, or y'all?
No, they've all died mysteriously. Sad. I've been through my grieving though. I'm okay with that.
Oh, they're dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, isn't that a shame? Yeah.
Oh, we
no,
talked
I
about
was
that
not
earlier.
indicted in any of their murders. It's very important to note. Just because you're holding the X doesn't mean you've used it. It was proven in a court of law.
Well, you can't be a black widow. You're white.
So smart. I call them African American widows because I don't want them to get all mad at me.
That's true.
Right.
You never know.
Oriental widows
they're
if they're in the Asian camp.
If they're carpets.
No.
We talked about
Those
that.
are expensive. Those are from Turkey. What?
I said we talked about them being dead, and I just suddenly, I don't know why.
That's okay.
Were they all, the children, one
Is it one for one?
No, no, none of my kids are from any of my husbands.
Oh.
But I did wait till after I got married to have my first child so Dr. Laura would approve. I think that's very important. I'm a Christian. I'm on my knees a lot for Jesus. So, they say when you get on your knees, Jesus comes. That's what the Reverend told me, and I believe it to be true. So that's why I'm always with my mouth open, ready to receive him. He's so neighborly. Especially when he wears that real long frock because it lifts up so easy, and then you can see the holiness of him. He's just wonderful. I just love him. I love him. You are so sweet.
And he's in your heart.
What? He's all over my heart. Every kind of which way. Wait, did I hear that your program is the last episode is this week?
Yes, it aired last night. It was our season finale.
My Lord, I would have been watching it, but I was on stage with the fire department.
Well, see, you have to work really hard in your shows, this brand new show that you launched in Denver. My show is I sit on a couch and watch television and say what I think.
I want to do that because
It's the easiest job.
that sounds like so much fun.
But I'm not willing to work as hard as you do.
Well, aren't you a Christian? I do work hard. I did. I have a brand new show that just world premiered in Denver that we're going to end up touring. It's sort of like part 2 of my story that there's Dixie's Tupperware Party, which is the original, and then the next program is called Never Wear a Tube Top While Riding a Mechanical Bull and 16 Other Things I Learned While I Was Drinking Last Thursday. It's hard to print it all.
It's
going to
look so great on the marquee, though.
Oh no, we've already performed it. So we world premiered it in Denver. Did 3 weeks of it, went real well. So now we're gonna gear up to do a tour of that. And then probably in about 2016, I think is when that tour is gonna roll out. We're gonna do a couple selected cities to just sort of finish dusting off all the cobwebs like you do, making all the adjustments. But it went so well, and everybody was so. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Hide Mexican.
How long are you here in Los Angeles?
Well, the show is 4 weeks, but then if it goes well, then they'll extend me for a couple more weeks.
And it is Tuesday through Sunday with 2 on the weekends.
It is 8 programs a week. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That is exhaustive. I don't know
And how do we get
do
tickets?
it.
You can go to GeffenPlayhouse.com. Was it .com or .org? Go to
y'all figure it out on the intro web.
Yeah,
it's
go to the Geffen
Playhouse.
Playhouse. You'll find it, and then you can put on my picture and push me, and then I'll open up, and you can get tickets. Right
They poke your picture, and they get a prize.
Yeah, or you can go to Dixie'sTupperwareParty.com, and there's my picture there, and you can poke it, and that'll go right through to the Geffen Playhouse's website.
And where else can people find you on the intro web?
Oh my Lord! Well, you can go to my Facebook place, which is Dixie Longate, DIXALONGATE. It just rolls off the tongue.
It does.
And then where else?
Twitter at Dixie Longate.
Twitter, Dixie Longate. I've got an Instagram at Dixie Longate, and all them things. I feel so connected with the children's.
You're in the. I was going to say in the 90s, but that's not true.
I'm so electronic.
You've moved in.
I have moved in to 2011.
Yes.
I'm ready
There
to
is
go.
Wi-Fi in the trailer park now.
There is. Well, you know what? I have a double outside. I don't even have to go outside to go to the bathroom no more. We got all that stuff in there, and I put that little component right in the electronic socket plug, and then it goes, you can get internets. And so I can do things. I can watch my stories at the same time as I'm downloading a Paula Deen recipe. So good. And then all them things. So there's so much you can do on the internet. Apparently you can find where everybody's penis is huge.
Yes, you can.
Well, on
and
that
most
note-
importantly.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming on our
Okay,
show. We
you
love
make
you.
me
I can't
so
wait to
smile.
see you tonight.
I know. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Clearly,
fun.
you have heard from the hurricane that is Miss Dixie Longate that this is a show that you do not want to miss. So in the next 4 weeks, you do not have an excuse. There are 32 shows that you can go see. Make sure that you check her out. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, handsome devil.
And ladies, all of you at home, as always, you can find us on Facebook at the Dell and
Yes, you
Emerson
can.
Show official page. If you want to join our mailing list, hit us up at dellandemerson@gmail.com. And seriously, for real, seriously, if you want to be sponsored, because we really do need those, hit us up at dellandemerson@gmail.com. Next week, we will be back with the cast of The People's Couch, my cohorts, and Julie Goldman and Brandy Howard. Up next, stick around for On Air with Tony Sweet, and then The Ann Walker Show.
And thank you, Alonzo Duralde and Louise H.
Beard.
Beard, for being our guest today, and Dixie Longate. Thank you
Stop
so
it.
much. And all of
Subscribe.
you for listening. We appreciate it.
We'll see you next week.
Great job.
Welcome to the new